Good evening, everyone. It is July the 14th, 2026. Before I get into my video that I'm putting up tonight, I hope everyone is looking after each other, and that's what I want to talk about as well tonight. The extreme heat waves that we're in right now, again, it was supposed to have been up to about 45 or 46 Celsius today, and it's been rough. It's been a rough several weeks with the crazy weather that we've been getting, for certain. We got a little bit of a break, fortunately in one way, but another break, not a break in another way, and that was we were about 2 or 3 degrees cooler than we were supposed to be, with the high humidity, due to the fact that right now Canada is experiencing our season of forest fires from further north of us right now, and both in Quebec and Ontario here, and we're getting the smoke now coming into the cities again. And from what the weather people were telling us, this managed to lower our humidity slightly because the blanket of smoke over the sky, the sun was not ever able to penetrate through the smoke as strongly as it would have had, but it's still very, very hot today, so I hope everyone's taking care of themselves. To continue on the weather, that's something we cannot control as to how it happens, and of course with the smoke as well, unfortunately our neighbors to the south and the northern parts of the United States are getting our smoke again across the border into the US. So again, we apologize. We're not doing this on purpose, that's for certain, but we're all suffering. And then you have to look at the maps around the world right now. The jet streams are all seem to be changing with the climate change, for one. Another big effect is the El Nino right now, and it's looking like it's a super El Nino from what the weather charts are saying right now, and looking at even ahead into the fall and the winter. That's also pushing the weather the streams of our weather patterns every which way, but where they're supposed to be. When you look at the map of Europe, and over 10,000 deaths, as I mentioned in an earlier video there, their extreme heats are up like 45, 46, and when you see the heat waves that they're showing and the maps from the weather forecasters, it looks like they're in for another round for a while, and maybe even hotter from what they're saying than what they're getting right now. The same thing with the weather map in the States. They're all over the place with the storms, the weather patterns all over the place. Plus, now we're into hurricane season too. That'll be coming up the East Coast. That'll can affect the United States as well as our eastern coastline here in Canada as well. So everything is having to be watched very closely. So I'm really encouraging people at this point to be aware of what's going on, and definitely keep track with your local weather channels as well for your own safety, and make sure you have water with you, and you're doing the things that you need to be doing to stay cool and hydrated at this time. And of course, the last couple of videos I put up was on the dehydration of the homeless people, but it's not just the homeless people that are getting dehydrated at this point. It's ordinary people that can get easily dehydrated, and so they need everybody looking out for them. If you see not only the homeless, but another person that collapses on the street, they may have chronic diseases that not necessarily the drug situation that we have here, that please just pick up your phone and call someone to make sure that these people are all right. And it's not just the people that are suffering, it's our animals that are suffering. Make sure that our dogs are not left in hot cars, for an example. Make sure that they've got plenty of water, not dehydrated. Like, I've been very lucky, I've been very grateful for the fact that I've got an apartment. Like I said, it's not Buckingham Palace, as I've stated before, but I've got my basic necessities. I've got my fans, and they're just blowing full blast here to keep us cool. I can hop in a shower, a nice cold shower if I have to, which is an important thing, is water. We all need water as well, and so that's one way of keeping cool. And then I can just also water Heidi down here as well to keep her cool. So it's a matter of looking after everyone, and that's what we have to do. and in these times right now that we're experiencing, and not only the political upheaval and everything else we're experiencing right now that's going on around the world, we're in very, very trying times, and Mother Earth is hemorrhaging in so many ways as well, and unfortunately we cannot control Mother Earth, as we Indigenous people call her as well. So everyone, I want you to make sure you are looking out for everyone. And oh yes, and don't forget if you've got little animals, doesn't matter if it's a skunk, if it's cats that are outdoor, you've got little turtles or little creatures, squirrels even, that run around your property. It would be a good idea if homeowners can at least put up a nice bowl of water out for them as well. And if you could possibly have a bird bath or something you can use as like a bird bath for the birds, give them a break too as well right now, because we all need this break. And it's a matter of not only looking after ourselves as humans, but we also have to look after the animals and the planet around us. So it's a long job. And again, I feel so sorry for the homeless, that they don't have a place to live where they can just jump automatically into a cold shower and get cold, and then it really, where do they get a drink of water? And it was interesting because in the spring, and I know I told people on earlier videos that they had a way of hooking up a water fountain on the fire hydrants here, and I saw one go up near the Salvation Army in the spring, and I walked by the other day and I thought, that's strange, something looks a little different, and it's gone. So again, we're experiencing these severe heat waves. And my little friend there in the wheelchair that I was talking about in the grocery store the other day, I really worry, these are the people we have to worry about too. And it's really bad when they get stuck and their wheelchair runs out of juice, and where do they plug in? Because it's like, where do the handicapped people there? Again, it comes down to handicapped accessibility of where they can go to get help as well. So I'm looking at everyone to help out in that way. But I'm also going to give you a little bit of a couple of funny stories and about the electric wheelchairs that I run into in my life. And one of them, this first one was way back in the 70s when I was working in the malls at the time as a security guard. And all of a sudden we heard everybody in the mall just yelling and screaming and trying to get out of the way. And then we saw what happened. It was a gentleman in a wheelchair who'd gone into the restaurant, was totally drunk. He got in his motorized wheelchair and he was speeding down the mall with it. And he was weaving in and out, and everybody's jumping away and out of the road of the electric wheelchair. And my other partner, my male partner, because we each patrolled each end of the mall at the time. I had one end of it and he had the other end. We met in the middle, seeing what was going on. We had to give chase. And this is a drunk driver. But it's a drunk driver driving an electric wheelchair. And he is just all over the place. And I'm trying to run in up and beside the gentleman in the chair and see if I can grab hold of his control stick there, or his controls, so I can stop it, the wheelchair, and get his hand off the wheelchair. But fortunately, it was very fortunate that my partner was able to, he ran up behind the wheelchair, managed to get hold of the battery, and managed to unplug the battery to stop it. But this is just one of the funny things about it. But people, whether they're in cars, electric wheelchairs, they love speed. And then that brings me to the other story of a friend of mine who was so happy that she got an electric wheelchair because she also needed it desperately. But she liked to speed in it, and this was really funny because they just can take off some of these wheelchairs, and I have no idea what the top speed actually is of an electric wheelchair. But she was coming up, she was enjoying her freedom with the chair so much that she come up on the sidewalk beside a car, and it was like, you know how you get up, you're driving and you got the car next to you and you rev your engine, you're ready to go, and you want to see if you can outrace the other driver. Well, this is what she was trying to do, see if she could kind of rev up the wheelchair to get going and try and challenge the car, and I'm looking at my friend, and I'm saying, now how is she going to do that? She's only got an electric wheelchair. How is she going to be in an 8-cylinder car? So, and then it ended up getting to the point where she kept doing this constantly, into traffic even. And the police had to finally stopped her and told her if she didn't stop, not only was she going to get ticketed for it, she was probably going to get the wheelchair taken away from her for a while. Although I know we ticket drunk drivers, I'm just wondering how would they write up a ticket for a drunk driver in a wheelchair as well. So, or not and a drunk driver and someone who's speeding, even a speeding ticket at this point. So I just thought I'd put in a little bit of sense of humor on it as well. But I beg you people, please, we need to look out for each other. This is a very, very trying time that we're in the world. And the only way we're going to survive this is to make sure we're looking out for each other. So I'm going to leave it there, everyone. Take care, be safe, watch your surroundings, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.